Well, hey, all, welcome to the Military Wire, where we interview some of America's most talented, most respected men and women who serve this country. I am Mike Schindler, the host of the Military Wire, and we share these stories in hope that you, our audience and our listener, gain an aha moment. Let me get that right, an aha moment that you can use in your life, that you can apply it and help you move the needle forward in your own personal life. Before we get rolling, I want to thank our sponsors, Bone Frog Cellars, founded by my friend, Lieutenant Commander, Navy SEAL Tim Cruikshank and his business partner, David Johnston. This wine is a sacred wine. The proceeds from this wine go to support our families of our fallen SEALs. So be sure you check those guys out at bonefrogcellars.com. So very few people go through life with the intention to fail. I think everybody wakes up in the morning hoping that they will have some sort of success. And why is it that some succeed wildly and others seem to fail miserably? How do we move beyond just a mediocre life? So we're going to find that out on today's show. I'm very excited about our guest. Oh gosh, am I so excited about our guest. So I got to tell you guys, when you start doing your research on Elon, you will be even more excited about Elon. So in his latest book, Success is Not A Fluke, best-selling author Alon Ulman, who is an Israeli Naval Commander Reserve, best-selling author, founder of the Winners Group. He's helped over 250,000 people in businesses such as Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Israel, advocate that success is not by chance, but has a very clear set of rules and practices that can be harnessed by anyone. So we're going to unpack that today. Alon, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for having me. And before I start, I want to send my love and my respect to all the American families of the veterans, the soldiers, officers, commanders, wherever they are. Lots of love and respect I have for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, and we
I'm speaking from Israel. You should say that I live in Israel and I'm speaking now to you from Israel. It's the wonders of the digital.
It is, right? I mean, the fact that we can do this via the digital world now, which is accelerating, right? I love that. So thank you for joining us from Israel. I love that very much. You know, what I love about your story, Alon, and for people that have not picked up this book yet, Success is Not A Fluke. Be sure that you pick this up. And when you study what Elon has done, he has sold out his events, packed stadiums, sold out his events for 7+ years, going on a decade, helping people understand what it means to be their best self. And that's why we had him on this show. You're joining a slew of amazing folks that we've had on this show, Elon, you being one of them. You're accomplished. You've got, not only do you influence people, best-selling author, you've got multiple degrees. I loved what you said, how you have a degree in economics and never once did they teach you how to make money. I thought that was hilarious. And I think sometimes our listeners think that our guests are cut from a different cloth, right? That we're part of an elite brand that nobody else can achieve, and that there isn't really a struggle. And your story is pretty impressive. Would you share with our audience, you had a couple of epiphany moments, but I want you to start with a story over the Mediterranean. What happened over the Mediterranean?
Yes, over the Mediterranean is probably a defining moment. Looking retrospectively, actually I was 30 years old, 1 month before the age of 30. And back then I was a commander in the Israeli Navy. I just finished commanding a missile ship, and I was the head instructor of our Naval Academy, which is a very prestigious role. And actually, I found myself in the age of 30. You know, we have an expression like one of the golden boys of the Navy. You know, in my way up the ladder of command or of the chain of command. And one day, we returned from vacation in Turkey. Imagine an airplane 33,000 feet above the Mediterranean. I come to breathe and suddenly I have no air. Out of nowhere, out of the blue, I have no air, nothing. that's it. I'm going to die. I look at my wife and I understand until I'm going to explain her what's happening. I'm gone. That's it. And the steward cabin, she just passed in the near to me. I grabbed her with my hand and I signed her oxygen. Immediately, the oxygen mask were put in front of my face, and I start to breathe. And now I jump. A few hours later, I wake up in a bed in what I understood is an hospital in Haifa. You know, Haifa is a northern city in Israel. And I wake up in a hospital, and the head of the chest department, the doctor, he informs me that I'm a miracle, a medical miracle. And what's happened, to make a long story short, what happened was that my lung collapsed. I had a rare occasion of lung collapse, and excuse me for my English. Yes, it's one of my first interviews. It's one of my first interviews in English. As you said, you cannot speak Hebrew, so
that's right.
Speak English. And my left lung collapsed, and with it, you know, it was very frightening because I was in the middle of an operational career, and now I cannot go to sleep, and so what am I going to do? And after I rehabilitate, I had a quite I rehabilitated, okay, after a few months. But then after 4 years, it happened again. I had my second attack. It's a very rare occasion of a lung attack, and I had it again after 4 years. And after one more year, I had a very complex surgery, which they removed 1/3 of my lung. Wow. And back then, I remember one scene. I remember lying in the hospital in the 8th floor, very frightening because, you know, I didn't know what am I going to do now with my life, because all I planned, all I did, all I knew was irrelevant, seems irrelevant in this moment. And it was very frightening. But actually looking retrospectively, or like Steve Jobs said, you know, in his speech, connecting the dots, you can do it only when you're looking from the future to the past. Now I know it was really, you cannot call it a good event, but it led me to a better place, because a few years later, I'm in the age of 40, and I was still in the Navy, and I gave myself a present in the age of 40, and I ran my first marathon, which is, you know, a marathon is 42 kilometers of running. And then I heard about triathlon. I started doing triathlons. And then I heard about an Ironman. You probably know it's 226 kilometers of swimming, biking, and then a marathon, 226 kilometers in a row. And actually, I flew to Arizona. This was my first Ironman. I was almost 42 years of age. And after the story I told you before, and in Arizona, I did my first Ironman. And then on the finish line, something happened. This was, you call it the moment of revelation. This was my moment of revelation, because I felt, when I finished it, I felt very alive. I never felt so alive, you know, spiritually, you may say, connected to the universe and this stuff. But actually what my subconscious has told my conscious without words, that if that's what I have done in 7 months of preparation, you know, I was fit like this. And in 7 months of preparation, it's like this. So I told myself, if I would have done those things about money, should I go, or could I go from this to this in 7 months, in business, in life, in relationship? And really from this moment, I returned to Israel. I informed the Navy that I want to get out. I got to pension, you call it pension, yes? After 24 years in the service, in the Navy. And really I began my real life, and that's what I'm doing until today. And since then, you know, I'm dedicating my life. I have been dedicating my life since then to exploring, mapping, modeling, and making it accessible to people. What is practical success? What does it mean to be successful, to be happy, but practical success? Because, you know, everyone wants to be successful, but not everyone.
Yeah.
And ever since, or maybe I'll tell you later. I don't let you.
No, this is good. Alon, what I love about your story is it's almost like a hero's journey in many ways, right? In that you 24 years in the military, impressive, amazing, right? People work their whole life. And then you had an epiphany moment, right? That moment of revelation. You cross that finish line and you realize, wait a second, I'm just beginning. And so I believe that you've probably given people hope in the sense that they can say, wow, I'm not done yet. I still have more life in me. I can still make more impact. I love that about your story. What I love is you didn't give up. You had a life-altering event. You went and did an Ironman, which
this was the first one. Then I did it 4 times in a row. 4 years, 4 times.
So I've yet to do one. My friend Mark Devine, who runs Unbeatable Mind, he does 300 burpees a day, and you know, my hat is off to you guys that just love that edge of your comfort zone, because that's really what you're doing. You're telling people you need to be on the edge of your comfort zone. It wasn't comfortable. You had to get outside of your norm. You had to get out of that. What motivated you to do that? Because some people are mentally dead just waiting for their bodies to catch up, right? What was that trigger?
I love this. Yes. Yeah. I tell people every time that, you know, many people are dying. They have died. No one told them that they are dead, so they keep coming to work. But you can see in their eyes, they are dead.
Yeah.
But you really, this is the point. You know, when you spoke about it, I don't know, you say in English, I had a shivering. Like
goosebumps or chicken skin.
Yeah. Because back then I didn't know. Now I know. I have such a big passion to hand it over to people because I know that we can live a lot more than we do. Until the age of 40, you know, I will tell you, back then, I didn't know what is my motivation. My motivation back then was, you know, my internal story that I must succeed. I must succeed. I am the one who is responsible for his life. I'm responsible for my family, kids. And in my perception, we are responsible for the country, not the country is responsible for us. You know, I look at it. So in my perspective, I didn't have a choice, because if you don't succeed, it's better to succeed than. So back then, I just, in my mind, I didn't have a choice, and I didn't really know back then why I'm doing it. I've heard of it, and something inside, I just had to do it. And but after I've done it, I don't know if every one of the listeners or the viewers know, but we know we are Jewish. We have and now it's Pesach. Pesach is a Passover. And the story of the Israel nation getting out of Egypt, you know, and this is really the story, because we are all slaves many years, but for what? For whom? Why don't we get out of Egypt? You know, because the slavery is to our perception, our internal stories. And what you said there was very accurate. On the line, on this epiphany moment, I understood that I'm just beginning now. I was so enthusiastic because suddenly I understood that, you know, I had a first degree in economics with distinction, and they didn't teach me how to do money, and my parents didn't know, and my teachers didn't know. So how should I know?
Yeah.
I understood that I can set a target and I can learn and I can develop abilities. And it's not only me, it's everyone. I understood that if I would do, if I may say, reverse engineering
Yep.
to what I've done in the Ironman, set a big, large, fat goal,
Yeah.
and then make a plan, and then work at achieving the plan. So like this, we can do everything. And since then, I explored it, and now I do it, with, I'm very relentless about it. I do it for 14 years, from day to night. And for the last 14 years, I've helped more than 400 people, 400,000 people that participated in our seminars and workshop and to achieve their goals and their results with great speed and power. Because what motivates me now I know my why. My big why, what motivates me now is to give people what I didn't have as a child, as a young adult, what my parents didn't have. I call it the 5 generators of growth, or the 5 growth generators. It's knowledge, systems, tools, mentoring, and environment. Jim Rohn said that you will become the average of the 5 people you are hanging out with. And not everyone is hanging with the top of the world, and not everyone have access to the knowledge of the top of the world, and not everyone has parents that have great results. So where should we learn it? And most people, they don't know it. And actually, to have a great life is possible, and it's a matter of choice. And success is something that can be learned and can be harnessed to our lives.
See, I love this, Alon, because what you're talking about, and if we go back to the story of breaking free, right? The story of Egypt, right? Of Israel leaving Egypt. In many ways, I think many people are living in their own Egypt, right? They're suppressed. That story that they're telling themselves in their mind, that I'm not capable.
Exactly.
I'm not possible.
I'm too young. I'm too old. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I won't succeed. It's, in Egypt also, we just read we call it the Haggadah, the tale. We just read it in the evening of the holiday. It was 2 days ago. And even in Egypt, it's metaphorical. They didn't have a fence or fences. And when Moses came to Israel nation, he told them, let's get out. And they didn't want, because, it's like in real life. Everyone, it's in the short term, it's easier to do what is convenient, which is don't move, don't move, stay. And whoever is the one who is ready to do all the time what is convenient, in the long run will get very inconvenient life. And you can talk about shape, you can talk about health, wealth, relationship, whatever.
Yeah, it's the edge of the comfort zone. You're talking about discovering your purpose, right?
Exactly.
That whole, what is the purpose? I love, and I want to get to this because this is really important. I think our education systems probably across the world teach us that go to school, get a good job, right? Get educated, get degreed, et cetera, right? And if you work hard, that'll equal success. Mm-hmm. And you and I both know that 70% of people who are employed are miserable, at least in the US. Maybe it's different in Israel, but in the US, that tends to be the stat. It's over 70%. They're just absolutely miserable. So what is the secret to breaking that barrier, that wall, Alon, from your perspective? What have you seen mentoring and working with over 400,000 people, that when you do this, your breakthrough begins?
Okay. So actually, I call it the 4 barriers to success. and all the model of, I've developed a methodology, the model, it calls the winner's code, and it's based upon it because everyone has, like you say, me now, and every one of us have a big I, and some of us are promote themselves every day, every month, every year, but 90% doesn't, don't. Everyone, like you say, everyone wants to be successful, happy, healthy, wealthy, be admired by their kids. And we know that most people won't grow to the extent that they can, to their potential. But why? And this is the interesting thing. And there are 4 barriers to success. The first one, people don't, let's make it simple. Why do people don't achieve what they want? First, people don't achieve what they want because they don't know the rules. There are rules for success. And the rules for success, those are not rules written by a person. Those are not regulations. Those are universe rules, okay? You earn money for giving value. For example, most people think that you earn money for work or for time. And if it's like this, so why someone earns $10 an hour and 1,000 or 10,000? It's one rule. There are rules for success, and people don't know the rules. Second thing is people don't achieve what they want because they don't know what they want. Most of the people, and you say Israel is very much like USA. It's a little USA, and it's in all the Western world. 90% of the people, they know each and every moment what they don't want, who they don't want in the government, where they don't work to, where they don't want to live, where they don't want to work. But man, brother, what do you want? What do you really want? You can get what you want. What you want? Most people don't know how to answer it. Even when they set goals, you can see that the person may tell you, I want to lose 10 pounds. Really? You want to lose 10 pounds? This is your target? The 10 pounds is what you don't want. You can cut off a leg and you lose 10 pounds. That's not what you want. What you really want. People don't know how to set goals, how to draw a winning picture, we call it. So they don't know the rules. They don't know what they want. Third, they are afraid. People are stopped by their fears. I won't succeed. How can I open a business? I don't know. And there's a way to overcome it because, there are 4 pills for fear. So they're stopped by their fears and they stay in the comfort zone. Like you said, it's exactly like this. And in the book, I have a formula for breaking boundaries. It's 6 steps. Maybe we'll talk about it later. And the fourth reason is habits. Some of our habits are promoting us, and many people have habits that holds them back. Okay, they don't promote them. And if you change, if you know, we teach people what are the habits of the 10%, of the successful 10%, and the 1%ers. What do they do each day, each month? How do they think? How do they act? And you do like them, and you will get like them.
Yeah. Well, so you're talking about modeling, right?
Yes.
And it should work for those of us who have served in the military, right? I go, you go, right? Right?
Yes. Military is a great example because no one will give you a missile boat and will tell you, okay, go to sea. Let's see what's happened on the OJT, on the job training.
Yeah.
You will manage. You will kill some people, but then you will manage. No one will do something like this. But people raise families. They start businesses like this. They try.
Yeah.
They try hard, but try hard is if I wanted to simplify it more, I will tell you something like this. It's amazing. Until the age of 40, I was like this myself. Most people, they will invest more time, more money, more effort, more energy in planning one trip abroad than in planning all their lives.
It's
but
so
not
true.
because people are stupid. People are not stupid. And it's not because of lack of talent. They're not used to it. They didn't see their parents do it. There's a little, only 3% that know how to do it. and this is the real miss. I don't know how to say it in English.
No,
This is not. It's
it's
not
like
fair because
a
only a small amount of people are raised by their parents and they inherit it from generation to generation.
yeah.
And this is not fair.
Yeah,
and I want to change it.
And Alon, let me just say, I am so grateful that you're speaking in English and not forcing me to figure out Hebrew. So thank you. Truly, 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 thank you. It's
Great. And as for the military people or people that were commanders in the Navy, Army, Air Force, and so on, I want to say something is very important because you know, the number one skill needed to be successful in life, really, the number one skill is to be able to leadership.
yeah.
And this really, the Navy, the Army teaches you, because, you know, this basic thing of be able to lead people to achieve desirable goals and to make an impact, to make internal motivation within people, this is the real thing. And if you know how to do it, you can do it in any field. You just have to plan your next, it's not next life, it's next phase in life. You have to build, we call it to build a winning picture. What do you want to have? What do you want to do? What kind of a person you want to be in the 10 years from now? And just make a plan like you did in the Navy and do it.
Yeah, you're talking about visualizing your success, which I love. Talk to us a little bit about the Winners Code group. Talk to us about what that is and how people can get involved in it.
So the Winners Code group is, today it's 5 companies. I have 5 companies. It's the largest personal development group in Israel. And the main company is called the Winners Code, and also our flagship seminar called Winners Code. We have a seminar of 3 days about learning about success. And we have another seminar, it's called the Money Code, learning about financial freedom and how it's all based on, I call it the 4 imperatives of success. In my opinion, there are 4 imperatives for success. 1, success is not a fluke.
Yep.
2, and now I know it for sure. Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results. I see it every day. I help the most successful people in Israel in many fields, and they are ordinary people, but they achieve extraordinary results, and there are systems to do it. And the 3rd one is we write the screenplay of our lives.
Yes.
Whether we are aware of it or whether we don't. And if we are aware of it, we can write it the way we want. And the 4th thing that we can learn it. So we have those seminars, and also we have a platinum group, which is a group of 1 year that I lead this group. And we have Winners Code for youth. If someone is hearing me now and want to bring it to US, we'd love very much. We have it for youth, for children. We took all the material and stuff about success that we teach adults, and we have it now for children, also digital. And we have a coaching school and a real estate school.
So great.
It all began from my dream to help other people. And that's what I want. And that's what I do. I'm helping people, and it's great. You know, it's also what we teach, how to find your destination, because, you know, everyone has his own zone. Yep. And it must have a connection for helping people. If you will find your strength, which with them you can help other people. You know, there's a Zig Ziglar, was an American. Yeah. It said, if you, the more people you will help the more people you help them achieve what they want, you will have what you want. That's right. And always the destination deals with helping people.
See, I love the servant leadership piece, because that's really what you're talking about, is being a servant leader, is is I've achieved success. I'm going to continue to achieve success, and success defined by, it could be money, it could be health, it could be relationships, it could be all of them combined. Uh, what is one thing you would want people to know about themselves? Like if they said, okay, Alon, one thing, God comes and says one thing, what is the one thing you want all the people to know? What is it?
That what really stands between us and our success is never the question whether I can, but the question, what am I willing to do in order for it to happen? This is one thing. And I think the other one, which is the same, but from a different angle, is that, you know, you've seen it all. Everybody wants to be at the peak. Everyone wants to reach the peak, but most people are not willing to climb. You have to be willing to pay the price. And that's also, I learned it in my years in the Navy. You know, I learned to lead, I learned structural thinking and behavior, and to be willing to pay the price. If you don't pay the price, there's nothing for free.
Well, you're going to pay a price regardless, right? You're going to be, you're going to pay a price whether you choose to succeed or whether you choose to fail.
Exactly. If you wake up in the morning 5 times a week and you do sport 5 times a week, this is the price. You know, instead of sleeping another hour, you do sport. But if you don't do this, you will live in a body that you don't love, and
that's
it's a higher price.
Yeah, gosh, I love this.
Anyway, everybody can succeed. Everybody, not everybody can be. This is one thing I want them to remember. Not everyone can be Ronaldo. Not everyone can be Einstein. Okay, but everyone can be 2 times, 17 times more than he is today, and our happiness doesn't come from being more than anyone else, but being more than we were yesterday.
I love that. Yeah, it's we're competing against ourselves to grow and be better. I love this. How do people get your book? Because this is an awesome book. I've recommended it to a huge network of friends already.
Thank you very much.
That teach success principles, because it's spot on. But Success Is Not a Fluke, your latest book. How do people get a hold of this book, Alon?
Very easy. Alon Ulman, Success Is Not a Fluke, Amazon, Barnes and Novels, and just get the book. And if you, I will be glad to hear when you read. Write to me on Instagram or whatever. I will be glad to hear what you think about it. And one day, you know, this is also in my plan. One of my dreams now is in Israel. You know, I'm a very big performer, like Tony Robbins in the States. Actually, I shared a stage with him in Israel last year.
Oh, how cool.
And now I want to do it in English. So this is
so awesome. So awesome. Well, I'm honored that you're speaking in English. Like I said,
thank you very much. You know, for me, this is the boundary I'm breaking through now. I've decided that this is the boundary I'm going to break through.
It's so great. So I know you're a big soccer buff, and we got to wrap this show up, which I love. I've played soccer for 32 years.
Oh, great.
I love it. My daughters play. We're big. So who's the #1 soccer team in your opinion?
Well, in the world or in Israel?
Yeah,
in Israel, you don't know.
Say again?
In Israel, you know, my father did me something that, you know, a soccer team, your father tell you something, and then you're stuck with this team all your life. So I have a team that no one heard of it, is Hapoel Haifa, but it's not, they are not so good. But I think the best team in Israel is or Maccabi Haifa or Maccabi Tel Aviv, which are the big teams. And in the world, you know, Liverpool. Yep. When I was young, I loved, I was a fan of Liverpool, and Barcelona, of course. There are many today.
Yeah, it's so great. The skill is just so amazing. Yeah. So to our audience, I want to be sure that you guys check out Alon Ulman. Incredible. Thank you for your time. I know we could talk hours on this stuff. Your book, Success Is Not a Fluke. This is a reread. I'm going through my second pass again because there's so many nuggets in here. Very, very exceptional book. Be sure you pick it up at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Google Elon. You will find, he's got videos out there, although the majority of them are in Hebrew, which
now we have to do some in English.
Yeah, I'm sure it was amazing, but I was like, my Hebrew is a little rusty. But the influence that you're having on people's lives, thank you for not stopping. Thank you for breaking through. Thank you for being an example for me, even, and for others. And I just want to say, is there a website that people can go to, Alon, that they can follow you?
Gaia, is there a website they can go in English? Now in the Instagram, we will fix later some, but in the Instagram, they can look for Alon Ulman, INTL for international.
Wonderful. Great. Well, we'll be sure to do that. And for those who are looking, who are transitioning out of the military here in the U.S., if you're looking to get a hold of your purpose, your post-service identity, I'm going to say this might sound weird, but you need to track down Alon. You need to find out more about what he's teaching, but certainly visit us too at operationmilitaryfamily.com. We'll help you identify your purpose as well. Alon, thank you for being on the show. Truly grateful.
Thank you very much, Mike. I enjoyed very much. And maybe after it, we will exchange some, I don't know, we exchange phone or something like this when I come to the States in your area, or when you come to Israel.
I would love it.
Just tell me, we will exchange numbers.
I love it. Well, thank you all.
Thank you very much.